Tonight on CTV, there's new improvements coming to the Foothills Mall.
And how are students around campus managing stress as we approach finals?
Balance like sleeping and your mental health with school, especially if you're in really hard classes. Just making sure to take care of yourself will actually help your academics as well.
And learn about a new all-electric mobile library.
All that and more on CTV starting right now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Bella Walser.
And I'm Adam Carlson. Thank you for joining us tonight.
It's one of the most traumatic events someone could go through, sexual assault, and it can happen to anyone.
That's right, Bella. Every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted, which is one of the reasons why April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Within the past 10 years, violent sexual crimes have skyrocketed. The small dip you see in the curve here was during the pandemic, but as soon as restrictions began lifting in 2021, the number is at an all-time high.
And these are only reported cases. Sexual assault is the most underreported crime, with just over 60% of victims not coming forward.
There are many resources on campus for students who are survivors of sexual violence, such as the Women and Gender Advocacy Center, the WGAC, provides students with resources such as advocates, educational programs, sending letters of support to professors, and the Victim Assistant Team, a 24-hour anonymous hotline to support students in their darkest moments. You can reach the VAT by calling 970-492-4242. The WGAC is not the only resource students can use. The CSU Health Network provides confidential, emotional, and medical services to students going through or healing from their assault. Student case management also helps not only survivors of sexual abuse, but for medical, mental health, family emergencies, and other personal reasons.
If you are in any danger or life-threatening situations, the university encourages you to call 911.
There are phone numbers under our YouTube live stream's description to all of the resources we listed. And with all that, we will take a short break. But stick around because coming up, we're going to tell you about a recent protest here at CSU.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, a fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
The Veterinarian Graduate School grabbed the #2 spot for the second best vet program in the country. It's one of the more highly competitive programs for vet schools in the U.S., only fulfilling around 140 seats each year. In order to adapt to modern times, the program is evolving to include more mental health resources and major updates to buildings. Now we are going live with one of CTV's steamiest personalities. Oh, stop it, you. Good evening, Rams. My name is Adam Carlson, and I am here to give you your weather rundown for the evening. Current conditions, we have some rain going on outside, pretty heavy pour, 49 degrees, and sunset at 7:51. Now the humidity is around 55, and we have winds of 22 miles per hour. As we approach summer break ever so fast and the showers start pouring down, life is returning to our soil. It feels like our summer is nearly here, but that doesn't mean the weather's all nice. While weather in Fort Collins lately has been feeling crazy, it's proving to be less chaotic than expected. While tracking storms, everything skewed south, which left us with far less extreme storms. This Tuesday alone, it was expected to receive an inch of rain, but rather we just got a third of it. While I enjoy the storms, it is nice to be free from some of the chaos we can come to expect here in Colorado. Overnight lows in the eastern plains, everything's around 30, with Lamar and Pueblo giving the highest of 39 and Lyman at 32 in Colorado Springs as well. But in the western slopes, we can see things are also pretty calm there. One of the more calm nights for weather warnings. However, we do have a wind weather advisory in Craig at 28 degrees. Now, over tomorrow's forecast, we have 59 as our high, 39 as our low. It's going to be windy. 7:53 for our sunset, and things are just going to be a little more chaotic, but that means that our weekend can finally loosen up a little bit. Saturday we have 73 and cloudy, then Sunday we get a nice 69 degrees, and then heading into the week we're still in 60s, and Tuesday and Wednesday we have 70s. And that brings me to the end of the forecast for you all tonight. As things heat up and rain comes down, it truly feels like CSU is coming back to life. Stay safe, Rams. Now, back to the man who wears turtlenecks best here at CTV. Ah, shucks, you got me blushing. You're too kind. It's the only mall in Fort Collins, and it's getting some major updates. The 50-year-old Foothills Mall, formerly known as Foothills Fashion Mall, is getting a brand new look with its upcoming development plan. So the mall will go from looking like this to this. When the Coloradoan asked the owners of the mall their vision, they said, quote, "When we brought it, we knew we're not buying this because we want to own a struggling mall or keep the mall. There's 662,000 square feet of retail, way too much retail for this market to support. So we looked at it as 62 acres of opportunity to do something really cool and special in Midtown," end quote. 70,000 square feet of the land will turn into office spaces, according to Foothills. This is the main aspiration for the project. Most of the stores and restaurants will be moved outside to create a more outdoor experience for guests and employees. Working in the new office spaces, the central and northeastern areas of the mall will be torn down, impacting the future of popular retail chains such as Forever 21, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, H&M, and many others. However, these demolished sections could be turned into apartments, according to the mall owners. But nothing has been confirmed. The project is still in its early stages with the goal of starting construction by 2025.
Bringing more than 400 Colorado bands and 30-plus venues, this weekend marks the annual Fort Collins Music Experiment, also known as FOCO MX. The two-day music festival will include live music of all genres. The live music will be coming to a coffee shop, brewery, bowling alley, or concert venue near you. Some of the locations may sound familiar to you, such as Aggie Theater, the Armory, and the Art Lab. The music festival will kick off at 3:30 on April 28th. While the music festival is a familiar and loved event, there are some new and exciting changes that will be brought to FOCO MX this year. For starters, there will now be free live music available in Old Town Square. This will be replacing the popular silent disco that used to be located in the square, but will now be located in the Exchange. This year, the Fort Collins Music Association, which puts on the music festival, will also attempt to break the Guinness World Record for most musicians performing a song at one time. If you are looking to get a ticket or are curious about the lineup, you can find information at focoma.org. Plus, if you volunteer for at least 4 hours, you can receive a free wristband to the music festival. Now, we're going live to Zoe Weir here to tell you about how students are dealing with finals week.
Thanks, Bella. We all know finals come before the summer, just like the rain comes before the flowers. Let's find out how we, as students, can end the year with the grade that we deserve. Hey Rams, with finals just around the corner, we want to hear what CSU students have for any advice. And let's learn what their hardest final is going to be.
I'm mostly scared for my sociology final, and I'm going to study here in the LSC. Okay, probably my geology lab because it's in person. That's my only in person. And I'll probably just raw dog it.
Probably my history final. My teacher's pretty scary, and he has hard exams, so the best thing you could do, I mean, every teacher gives you a study guide, so just go by that and try your best. I don't know.
My hardest final is definitely going to be my calc final. Study habits, I'd say make sure to balance like sleeping and your mental health with school, especially if you're in really hard classes. Just making sure to like take care of yourself will actually help your academics as well. Study habits, use your resources, like use your TAs, use your friends, go to office hours, just like reach out to your community for like mental, emotional support, and then also academic stuff. And remember to take care of yourselves.
Now to hear from the professor's standpoint, speaking from experience, what students should do in order to pass their finals.
My suggestion for doing well in finals is to get some sleep, eat well, rest, and then just do your best.
What y'all need to do, guys, is remember you have 4 classes left, just 4, that's all, and then this is over. So what I need you to do, at least for the next week, get to class, start studying. It's time to get serious, guys. So let's crank it and get this over with so we can end it.
Personally, I am definitely most scared for my history and theory of rhetoric final. But a few days of studying and we should knock it out of the park. We wish you all good luck on your finals. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks, Zoe. Last week, we told you about Divest CSU and their plans to protest on the plaza. Today, students, faculty, community members, and dogs met up at the plaza and marched to the Oval. Senior Ecosystems student Riley Ruff believes CSU could do better over how CSU invests their money.
We know that 11% of what their endowment entails, and there's likely at least $4 million, probably significantly more than that, invested in fossil fuels. As a university that really wants to obtain that title of most sustainable university, this is the next best step.
Divest CSU is trying to work towards better investments.
Behind the thick black curtains blocking LSC's Hatton Gallery, students patiently awaited for the new art to be revealed. On April 4th, artist Holly Wong unveiled her work titled The Guardian of the Spirits. From Wong's smaller pieces to the art that went up to the ceiling, all of them represent one thing: reclaiming the female body and bearing witness to the spirit. The art showcases Wong's talent for patchwork, images, and fabrics. The gallery is open until May 26th on the first floor of the Student Center.
After being in the works for more than a year, Colorado's first all-electric bookmobile, appropriately known as Evie, has finally been revealed by the Poudre River Public Library District. Fort Collins was lucky enough to be the first place introduced to Evie, as the bookmobile made its opening debut at Old Town Library this past weekend. The opening ceremony in Old Town included a tea reception and free activity booths such as 3D printing and STEM activities. While Evie started in Fort Collins, the 20-foot-long bookmobile that can travel up to 80 miles on a full charge is designed to travel all across northern Colorado in the upcoming years, distributing reading materials and resources. Evie is more specifically meant to deliver essential library services to people who may be unable to access library buildings in more remote locations. Evie can carry roughly 1,500 books, DVDs, and audiobooks, while also offering printing and Wi-Fi hotspots. Evie even serves as a library card sign-up location where you can check out and return library materials. According to the library district, Evie will make scheduled stops at senior living apartments, mobile home parks, and memory care facilities. The next planned stop for Evie is at Noches en Familia in Fort Collins, May 9th, followed by the Timnath Ranch Recreation Center on May 19th. If you are looking to find more of Evie's upcoming scheduled stops, you could go to the online events calendar on Poudre River's Public Library District's website. Stick around because after this quick break, Gideon Aigner is here to give you a preview of the upcoming Men's Golf Conference Championship.
What's up, Rams? I'm Gideon Aigner, filling in for Madeline Davis tonight. And so, tonight I will provide you with an in-depth look at the upcoming Mountain West tournament for men's golf, plus a preview of softball's final home series of the year. All that coming your way on Thursday Night Sports, starting now. We'll tee things off on the fairway, where CSU's men's golf team prepares for its most important event of the season, the Conference Championship. The festivities begin tomorrow and run through the weekend. And we witnessed a historic run in the postseason already in the world of Rams golf, courtesy of the women's team breaking a program record by 26 strokes a week ago. So it makes you wonder if the men can do something similar. Well, if they want to make history, it has to start with all-conference member Davis Bryant. The fifth-year senior has dominated all season long, and his score sheet proves it. Bryant leads the team with 18 rounds at par or under, while also averaging under 71 swings per outing. Another team best. He's the anchor for this unit, and if Bryant's on his game, that sets the Rams up for success. And considering the way Bryant's been performing all year, let alone his career in the green and gold, I'm not particularly worried. He's one of the most underrated student athletes on campus, and his value is crucial to the Rams' success. That being said, the Rams have a bunch of other notable weapons at their disposal, most obviously in the form of a very reliable duo. Along with Bryant, senior Connor Jones and sophomore Christoph Blair are the only other Rams to have played all 27 rounds this year, and their stats are equally as impressive. They both have 16 rounds at par or better and set at an overall even clip. The disparity in talent between these two and Bryant is not far off, and they'll need to be on their game if the Rams want to make any noise this weekend. The rest of the group rounds out fairly well, but keep an eye on those three in particular. The men have been very consistent throughout the season, which contrasts a little bit with the women's squad. The men placed second in the Mountain West last year, just 4 strokes behind San Diego State. So hopefully the Rams can hit a hole to claim the league's #1 spot this time around. And now moving away to the Diamond, CSU softball will be in action starting tomorrow, facing off against Fresno State. The Rams returned to Fort Collins for their last home series of the year, and the weight of the looming affair couldn't be more apparent. With 6 games remaining, CSU currently sits at 5th place in the Mountain West standings, which is rather uncomfortable territory to be in. You might ask why that is. Well, that's because only the top 6 teams qualify for the league tournament, unlike basketball where every school plays postseason ball, which only emphasizes the importance of these final outings on the schedule. Thankfully, the Rams hold a 1.5 game lead over the 7th place Utah State at the moment, and CSU could even jump as high as #3 by the time mid-May rolls around. Speaking of 3rd place, do you want to know who currently sits there in the standings? None other than CSU's opponent this weekend, Fresno State. The Bulldogs are a tale of 2 seasons. Their non-conference play was absolutely abysmal, suffering an 8-game losing streak at one point. However, they've turned their season around since then, and it mainly relies on their pitching. They strike out over 50% more hitters than the Rams and hold a team ERA that ranks 3rd in the Mountain West. Meanwhile, CSU's pitching isn't stellar, giving up nearly 5 runs every 9 innings, but the Rams make their living in the batter's box, registering a team average of over 300 and blasting in 35 homers. If the green and gold can get quality innings in the circle, run support shouldn't be an issue, despite Fresno's strong pitching staff. This is a face-off between an unstoppable force and an immovable object. The bats will need to come alive at the tail end of the Rams season, because after Fresno, the Rams will travel southwest to clash with Nevada. And if you weren't aware, the Wolfpack are notorious for hunting the strike zone, tracking better pitching numbers than San Diego State, a top-tier club. So, as the weather hits the 70s this weekend, let's hope that gives the Rams sluggers some juice in their swings. And with that, Rams, that's all the sports action I have for you tonight. Be sure to catch the very last edition of Tuesday Night Sports of the semester next week. But don't go away just yet, because when we return, Bella Walser talks about fellow students' big plans for the summers. And by the way, Nuggets in 4.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Spring semester is coming to an end and summer is almost here. As it gets warmer, campus is livening up and students are finding more activities to bring themselves outside. With weather getting warmer and finals around the corner, students are getting ready for summer. Let's see what they have planned. So what are your plans for this summer?
So this summer, I am graduating in just a couple weeks. So once it becomes summertime, I am going to be just bartending for a little bit to make some extra cash, and then all my extra free time is going to be spent kind of job hunting for something in my field.
Awesome. Yeah. So what are your plans for this summer?
I'm going to be working for the Colorado State Forest Service. I'm doing an internship for them. Yeah, and then I'm also going to the Colorado State Mountain Campus at the end of the summer. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited.
What are your plans for this summer?
To teach, play music. Yeah.
Awesome, I love that. Where are you playing music at?
We play locally, different venues, Denver, Greeley. Yeah.
That's exciting. So what are your plans for this summer?
This summer I will be going back to home to Delaware on the East Coast, and I also have some summer classes to take for CSU.
Awesome.
Yep.
I can't believe the year is already coming to an end. While it is bittersweet, I'm excited to see what the summer brings. Adam, what are your plans for the summer?
You know, this summer, I just it's about the bread. It's all about the bread. Gotta make some money, but then also I wanna go on more camping trips, more outdoorsy stuff, rock climbing.
Same.
Big rock climbing fan.
That'll be fun.
But yeah, what about you?
This is my first summer where I get to stay in Colorado, so I'm really excited. I'm gonna do a lot of nature stuff, probably hiking, seeing things when it's actually green, because most of the time everything is like kind of brown and dead here and snowy. So I'm excited to actually see Colorado when it's colorful Colorado.
No, for sure. Where are you from originally?
Texas, Houston, Texas.
So where it's always brown year round.
Always brown and always 80 degrees.
Yeah.
So that's super fun.
You know, maybe, I gotta say, I think a Colorado summer sounds like a way better deal than a Texas summer.
Yes, and all about making the bread, so a lot higher minimum wage, so that'll be nice because I'll definitely be able to save up a lot. So
yeah, definitely need to make that money.
Yeah.
And that's all the news we have for you tonight.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, Rams.